Now in my first impressions video, I found out that despite bearing similar looks to the Mi 11 Lite, the new Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G is so much more. So the new NE 5G brings a slew of upgrades over its predecessor, feels more polished, and most importantly feels complete. Quite honestly, the new Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G is everything that the Mi 11 Lite should have been in the first place. Hello everyone, Aman here from Mr. Phone, and before I tell you more about the Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G, here's a small announcement about our upcoming gaming tournament. So after the success of the first season of our Valorant gaming tournament, we are coming up with season 2 and it's called Valo Wars. Now the tournament starts October 27th and it will be live streamed only on our Mr. Phone Gaming YouTube channel. To know more, stay tuned to Mr. Phone on our social handles, and of course hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already and turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest videos. By the way, I've already talked about most of the aspects of the Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G in my first impressions video. So if you want to check that out, hit the card right above. But of course, watch that video and then come back right here. Now let's continue. So no doubt that this is a light and a nimble smartphone. I mean, this phone is as pocketable as it gets. It is so light that at times, even when this phone was inside my pocket, I had this constant fear of whether I've dropped the phone, but thankfully it was always there. But yes, weight aside, the soft touch matte rear glass feels amazing to the touch. The frame is polycarbonate, but since it is glossy, it looks good. At just 158 grams and 6.8 mm thick, if I had to choose a phone solely for its design, form factor or pocketability, without a shadow of a doubt, I would go for the Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G. On to the display folks, and this is a 90Hz 6.55-inch AMOLED panel that gets sufficiently bright both indoors as well as outdoors. Two key strengths of the screen are that it is a 10-bit, making it superior to an 8-bit panel, and the other being that you get Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus support here. So say if you wish to watch HDR content on Netflix, well, you can on this phone because the hardware supports it.
Serious business. I know you're innocent and all, but you're not planning to pull a hit and run with my precious cat, are you?
And of course, the content looks amazing. In fact, if you appreciate smartphone displays, you'll love the one on the NE 5G for its color reproduction, good contrast levels and sharpness. Overall, when it comes to multimedia consumption, the 11 Lite NE 5G is one of the best mid-range phones around. And by the way, did you notice how good the stereo speakers on this phone sound? Well, you can just go back to the Netflix section and see that clip again. For now, let's move on. The Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G is powered by the Snapdragon 778G chipset, and you get a choice of two variants here, a 6GB RAM option priced at 26,999 rupees, or you can opt for the 8GB RAM option which is priced at 28,999 rupees. Storage is standard at 128GB on both variants, and there's expandable storage as well, just in case 128GB isn't enough for you. So in terms of pricing, it's a job well done, but it is nothing new for Xiaomi. I mean, the company is known for its solid and aggressive pricing, and this one here is no different. But despite the aggressive pricing, there's no compromise on the performance front. As a matter of fact, the Snapdragon 778G chipset is a very capable processor. I've already tested it on a bunch of devices, and basically this SoC has totally changed the landscape of how we look at performance in a mid-range phone these days. So in terms of day-to-day usage, solid. In my couple of weeks spent with this phone, there were no slowdowns or heating issues or any sort of lags or stutter. And if you have seen a Mi 11 Lite around, you'll clearly notice that extra boost in raw power that you get on the 11 Lite NE 5G. What really left me stunned is that how smooth MIUI 12.5 has been coupled with the Snapdragon 778G chipset. Opening and closing apps, navigating around the UI, opening the multitasking screen, or transitions and animations have been smooth. Basically, if you have ever used the Mi 11 Lite, then you might know that it isn't the fastest or the smoothest phone around. I mean, it is decent at best, but all those speed issues, performance issues have been taken care of with the 11 Lite NE 5G. Speaking of which, this phone was easily able to run Call of Duty Mobile with high graphics and max frame rates. So of course, it is capable of handling even the demanding of games pretty well, although it does get slightly warm to the touch after sustained use. And coming back to the software, as I said, things have been buttery smooth. I really enjoyed using MIUI. Of course, the best part has been the speed, but besides that, the UI is clean. There have been zero ads or spam notifications. But the major news is that Xiaomi is going to give you 3 years of main OS upgrades and 4 years of security updates, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, one minor flag in MIUI 12.5, and I might just be nitpicking here, but MIUI doesn't have a Google Discover page, as you can see, which I think should have been here. But apart from this, overall, the software experience on this phone gets a solid 9 on 10. In terms of battery life, you get the same 4250 mAh cell that's also in the Mi 11 Lite, but because of better optimization maybe, that is the Snapdragon 778G chipset and MIUI 12.5, the endurance has been pretty good. I was easily able to last a day with this phone with around a 25 to 30% battery left by EOD. Sometimes on lighter days, even a day and a half. And this is with about 5 to 6 hours of screen on time, which again is great. Charging times are also decent as the phone takes about 60 to 70 minutes to fully top up from 0 to 100%. Now, talking about some other miscellaneous additions, well, there's 12 5G bands support on this phone, which makes it future-proof. For now, there's 4G carrier aggregation, and in terms of network reception and connectivity, I did not face any problems. Calls sounded loud and natural in the phone's earpiece, and I also didn't face any call drops whatsoever. Then there's an IR blaster on this phone to control your TV or your AC from your phone, and there's a Mi Remote app for that comes pre-installed. This phone also has NFC, something that wasn't there on the Mi 11 Lite, making tap payments from your phone possible now. The buttons on this phone offer amazing tactile feedback, and the side-mounted physical fingerprint sensor is accurate and unlocks the phone in a jiffy. And finally, this phone doesn't come with a headphone jack, but Xiaomi was kind enough to provide a 3.5mm to Type-C adapter in the box. Now, how many companies do that? So let's talk about the camera now. 3 lenses you are getting at the rear. The main camera is a 64 megapixel unit, and this is coupled with an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and a 5 megapixel macro sensor. On the front is a 20 megapixel camera for selfies. In comparison to the Mi 11 Lite, there's not much of a difference that we see here on the new 11 Lite NE 5G when it comes to clicking photos. I would say in good lighting, I did found the camera performance to be slightly better, but generally speaking, images were sharp, the camera was quick to lock focus, and colors mostly were on the vibrant side, which I feel should please most of the folks out there. Now, in dim lighting, the camera performance is decent first of all when it comes to dealing with colors and exposure. It's just that when clicking human subjects, even with night mode turned on, the camera does seem to smoothen the skin tones. The macro camera though does deserve a special shout out. I think Xiaomi does one of the best macro cameras in the industry. Apart from this, I found the selfie performance to be decent in good light, but it was mostly during the evenings when the front camera shines. Of course, night mode and a light source around you also has a role to play, but yeah, good performance overall.
This is the 4K 30 FPS video sample that you're looking at. This is the maximum this phone can shoot, and this is what you can expect in terms of output. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm shooting during the golden hour. So this is how the quality looks like. See for yourselves how the stabilization is. How does my audio sound? Let me know in the comments, and I'll quickly show you a 1080p 30 fps sample as well. So this is the 1080p 30 fps video sample. I'll quickly pan around, and now I'll start walking so you can see the stabilization for yourselves. Stabilization looks good. How does my audio sound? Let me know in the comments. And what do you think about the overall quality? of the rear facing camera when it comes to video recording. Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. Now I'll quickly show you a selfie video sample as well. Shooting the front facing video sample on the Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G. So this is the 1080p 60 fps video sample. This is the maximum this phone can shoot from the front camera, and this is what you can expect in terms of video quality. So in terms of stabilization, well, not great when it comes to the stabilization, but otherwise in terms of video quality, I think so the phone is doing a good job. I'm shooting during the golden hour, as I already told you. So yeah, this is what you can expect in terms of overall quality. Let me know what do you think about the front facing camera's performance when it comes to video recording in the comments below. Cheers.
In a nutshell, the Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G finds itself in a crowded than ever mid-range segment. I mean, for under 30,000 rupees, there's the Realme GT Master, there's the Galaxy M52, there's the Motorola Edge 20. Heck, even the newly launched GT Neo 2 is currently going for under 30,000 rupees. So the NE 5G does seem to find itself in a tight spot. That said, if you're looking for the thinnest and lightest 5G phone, which supports 12 bands by the way, features a 10-bit display, offers a solid day-to-day performance, and most importantly, guarantees 3 years of Android OS upgrades from here on, I would say you can blindly put your money on the Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G. By the way, this phone is also in the running for the best designed smartphone. Again, nothing is finalized yet, but this one is surely a strong contender. Look out for Mr. Phone Awards coming later this fall. And that was my review of the